When I first moved into my property, I knew it was special. My backyard didn't just end with a fence like most houses in the neighborhood. It stretched out into a beautiful forest filled with oak, pine, and maple trees. The air smelled fresh, the sound of birds filled the mornings, and in autumn the colors painted the landscape like a postcard. It didn't take long for the HOA to notice. At first they seemed friendly, even complimenting my property. But then one day I received a formal notice in the mail. It read, "Several of your trees present a safety hazard and must be cut down according to HOA community landscaping standards." I was stunned. These were healthy, old-growth trees, strong, tall, and deeply rooted. Not only that, but the HOA had no business telling me what to do with them. I politely wrote back, explaining that the trees weren't within HOA jurisdiction and were entirely on my private property. But the HOA president, a pushy woman named Carol, wasn't satisfied. She knocked on my door and insisted, "Sir, you may think this is your property, but all community greenery is managed by the HOA. You need to comply." That's when I knew something wasn't right. So I went digging. I pulled out the original land survey and property deed. And to my surprise, I discovered something even the HOA didn't realize. Not only did I own the trees, but I also owned the entire forest trail that ran behind several houses in the neighborhood. That trail was the one residents used every day to jog, walk their dogs, and let their kids ride bikes. The HOA thought it was community land, but legally, it was all mine. So when they kept pestering me with fines and threats, I decided enough was enough. I had my lawyer draft a trespassing notice. Then I posted signs at every trail entrance. Private property, no HOA access. Unauthorized use will result in trespassing fines. The neighborhood erupted in chaos. Residents were furious at the HOA for pushing me too far. They suddenly realized that the very person they tried to bully was the one who controlled their favorite recreational area. People begged me to open the trail again. But I made it clear, if they wanted access, they had to sign written agreements and acknowledge that the HOA had no authority over my land. And the cherry on top? The HOA president, Carol, the one who demanded I cut down my own trees, had to come to me personally and request written permission, just to walk her dog on my trail. I smiled as I handed her the paperwork. That day, the HOA learned the hard way that trying to control what they don't own can backfire, big time.